The sun set in a muddy spring.
Assalamu alaikum, my fellow flat earthers. Today we're going to be going through one of the most...
In fact, Islam teach that the earth is a flat and we can prove it easy, but we will go back to it later. And this is why Muhammad, he asked the Muslims to pray in the direction of the Kaaba from wherever they are. And this is why even the Quran says that the earth, we made it flat in many verses. But this is not the topic for now. Flat earthers. See, supposedly, this is how they answer. They make fun of the thing to make it sound like we don't believe in this, but the fact they do.
Problematic, shocking, and faith-shaking verses in the Quran. Well, to Ridwan at least. Ridwan says that when he read the Quran the first time, this was one of the verses that stood out to him, and it played a role in him leaving Islam. As you can see in the title of the video, this verse is the one that speaks of the sun setting into a murky spring. I'm sure that I've read this verse over 100 times, and I've never really been affected in the same way that Ridwan has been. Surely, that's because I'm not as smart as he is.
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm going to enjoy this one. Let's get to the video.
Until when he reached the setting of the sun, he found it setting in a spring of dark mud, and he found near it a people. The sun goes there for a bath after the day, I guess. Many Muslim apologists of our time try to argue that the Quran verse is misunderstood or was just mistranslated. That's absolutely not true, but stay with me and see how they do that. The first way of making the Quran not look too embarrassing is to corrupt it and to make it correct again. If you search on Google for this Quran verse, you will likely land on Quran.com, which features the Sahih International translation of this verse. In that translation, you will see that they added something that doesn't exist. The verse suddenly says that he found it as if it was setting in a muddy spring. See how they lie to you?
Ridwan is correct in saying that this is an addition to the text. However, it is not a corruption. Ridwan seems to not be aware that the inclusion of brackets is an indication that the word as if were not in the original text.
Thank you very much. So as long it is not in the original text, that means Allah, he do not need to add as if. So are you Muslims correcting Allah? Are you saying that Allah, he do not make it clear, and we Muslims, we have to add as if to make it clear? Or we are adding as if to lie at you? You see, the Quran says that the one who changed a letter from its location, he is doing corruption. What about those who they are adding letters and words? So the purpose of as if is just to make Quran look better. If Allah never say as if, and obviously that's mean he do not need to add as if. So why you add it? Maybe you are smarter than Allah. I think so.
Had this been an intentional corruption of the text, the brackets would not have been included in the first place. To be honest,
there's many verses in the Quran, there's no bracket at all, and they add the words, even translation for the hadith. Give me a break. Let's continue. So what is your answer for this guy? You see, I was looking for the answer in those videos, and I found that they are nothing but blah 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 blah. Not only that, this guy is going to give us a hand to prove Muhammad to be a false prophet. Listen carefully.
Honest, this has nothing to do with the video. I'm just going out of my way to show that Ridwan doesn't seem to have any idea of the basics.
Here we come to number 2 of those apologetics. Many say that the translation is simply not clear, and that you need to read it in a context, that the word used for finding it actually describes the situation only from Dhul Qarnayn's perspective, not as a general truth. So when the Quran verse here says he found it setting in a muddy spring, it means that he saw it that way, not that the sun actually sets in a muddy spring.
So what is meant by this? Some will criticize the Quran on this basis and say, well, it looks like the Quran is talking about a flat earth here, and then the sun actually descends into a sea in some place. But that's not what the Quran seems to mean. In fact, when we look at the Quran, we have to see the narrative within its context. And when the statement is given in the Quran that this person found the sun, he found the sun setting in the murky sea. This means that it's describing it from his perspective. It's like we ask somebody, how do you find Toronto? Well, it's not asking how Toronto is in fact, it's asking about this person's opinion, this person's viewpoint, yes. So from this person's viewpoint, from Dhul-Qarnayn's viewpoint, the Quran is setting in a muddy spring. That's how he sees it. If we see a sunset, that's how it appears to us. So it's not describing this as a matter of scientific fact, that this is how it is. Because, of course, if it is a matter of scientific fact, we would object from a scientific point of view and say that this is not what we know in science. The earth is a sphere, and the sun does not go down into any spring.
First off, as a lover of linguistics, I have to say that that's absolute garbage.
Ridwan actually loves garbage since he's a waste man. But let's see what he has to say about linguistics.
But in order to refute such apologetics, I can do 3 things. Look at other translations.
That won't be necessary. We are in agreement that the words as if do not exist in the text.
Compare the word to other verses.
Good, we could do that.
And use common sense.
Oh boy. Well, there are so many witty retorts that I could make, but it's so easy that it feels like cheating.
If you want to look at the word used here for finding is wajadaha, which means he found it. Wajada means he found. Now, we don't even have to go far. The same word is used again in the same verse. When it says he found near it a people, he found here is wajada. It's the exact same word. So is this as if now? He didn't really find those people. It was only as if he found those people.
Well, Ridwan, you failed to realize the term wajada isn't always used to refer to a physical reality. If you go 9 verses back, this will become quite clear. Notice this verse speaking of Musa alayhi salam and his companion finding a wall that was about to collapse. The Arabic states, فَوَجَدَ فِيهَا جِدَارًا يُرِيدُ أَنْ يَنْقَضْ. Now, the literal Ridvanian translation would be, they found a wall that wanted to collapse. In other words, the wall literally wanted to kill itself.
Hold on. I mean, look how silly and how stupid what he just said. You just gave us a hand, actually, by your ignorance. You just admitted that they found a wall. This is where the word فَوَجَدَ فِيهَا جِدَارًا يُرِيدُ أَنْ يَنْقَضْ. What he found, jidaran. So the found or the find is about the wall. You just gave him a hand. He is not talking about he found the wall when a jump. Who care about a jump? This is the funny Islamic Quran words, which is funny and stupid. Because as you said, it doesn't make sense to say that he found a wall, he wanna fall down, as if the wall making the decision to fall down. And not only that, this is smart Muslim, he make a cartoon making fun of his God words. Listen carefully and laugh.
Yes, the wall had struggled for so long, struggled with paying the bills, years of not receiving the respect it deserves. Finally, it had come to a conclusion.
He's making fun of the Quran because the Quran is the one saying he found a wall. So the find is finding a wall. Then there's description about what this wall wanna do, and the Quran saying the wall wanna jump and will destroy itself, and you are making fun of it. Thank you very much. How in the world you say he found a wall which is going to destroy itself or jump and fall down? Have you ever heard of this statement before? But this is one of the proofs of the funny stupid Arabic which Muhammad he used in his Quran, and this is why the Arab they used to say to Muhammad, هذه وما هذه إلا أساطير الأولين. This is nothing but the fairy tales of the people before us. And Muhammad he confirmed that always. Here we go. This is the Quran. أساطير الأولين. This is what the Arab they always says to Muhammad. This is nothing but a bunch of fairy tales, and you make us laugh at you. And as you see, and Muslims they say to you, do you know that the Arab they were amazed by the Quran? The Arab were amused by the Quran. This is why they said to Muhammad, well, if you want we can make better than this, but this is a stupid. And this is a chapter 8 verse number 31. When our verses recite it to them, they say, you know, like, if we wish we can see like this, but this is nothing but the fairy tales of the ancient. And Muhammad here describing a fairy tale of the ancient about a guy, his name is Al-Khadr, who drank from the fountain of youth, and because he drank from the fountain of youth, he never died. So he was in the funeral of Adam, he was in the funeral of Noah, he was the funeral of Musa, he was the funeral of Muhammad. Now let us continue with the comedy of this Abdul, who Muhammad Hijab recommended him to refute, because this is his teacher, this is the teacher of Muhammad Hijab. And as we see, he is making fun of Allah. That's Allah saying that the wall will collapse. Exactly. It is funny and stupid, and I admire your cartoon. Very nice.
Now, we don't even have to go far. The same word is used again in the same verse. When it says, he found near it a people. He found here is wajada. It's the exact same word. So is this as if now? He didn't really find those people. It was only as if he found those people.
Well, Ridvan, you fail to realize the term wajada isn't always used to refer to a physical reality. If you go 9 verses back, this will become quite clear. Notice this verse speaking of Musa alayhi salam and his companion finding a wall that was about to collapse.
Did he just say finding a wall? I mean, I cannot believe it, the stupidity of those people. Did you hear it? He just said finding a wall. And why you jump to different verse? However, even in this verse, it says finding a wall who want to collapse. So the finding a wall who want to collapse, this is a proof that the Quran is a stupid book and the Arabic is not right. So he's trying to make fun of the guy, and then he, by doing that, he made fun of Quran, because the guy, he said to you in the same verse we are talking about, which is speaking about the sunset in the murky water, they found, Zulqarnain, he found near it. This is the same word, he found near it. The same as he found the sun setting. So he found physically. So don't say as if. So he was saying to you, is it as if here as he found people near it, or he found people near it? So what do? You make comedy just for the sake of trying to refute the guy, making comedy, making fun of the Quran and your God book, saying, look, the Quran says that he found a wall who wanted to destroy himself, and the wall want to kill himself. Show me how he want to kill himself.
The Arabic states, فَوَجَدَ فِيهَا جِدَارًا يُرِيدُ أَنْ يَنْقَضْ. Now, the literal Ridvanian translation would be, they found a wall that wanted to collapse. In other words, the wall literally wanted to kill itself. Yes, the wall had struggled for so long, struggled with paying the bills, years of not receiving the respect it deserves. Finally, hold
on. You know what? You remind me of something. Struggling, not paying the bills. Is that why Muhammad, he did the same exactly like this wall? He went to the top of the mountain and he was trying to commit suicide. Is that true? Are you going to say to me as if, or this is as it is? In Sahih al-Bukhari, which Muslims cannot deny, we find that Muhammad, he tried to do the following. There was a guy, his name is Waraq ibn Nawfal, and I believe strongly that this is his real father who was sleeping with Muhammad's mother. Oh, I can prove it easy. And actually, if you have my books, you can see that. So this guy was translating from the Christian gospel into Arabic, and this is the Quran, as you see. This is Muslim books, and this is the wife of the Prophet saying that, not me. So Waraqa, he was a cousin of Khadija, and he became supposedly Nasara, not a Christian. Nasara, it's a kind of a Christian cult like Jehovah's Witnesses. So he became a Nasara, and he used to write the Arabic writing and used to write of the gospel in Arabic. That is the Quran, my friend. And then when Waraqa he died, the inspiration of Allah stopped. Why the inspiration of Allah will stop? What does have to do with God? A man, his name is Waraqa. Who is Waraqa? No one. Suddenly when Waraqa he died, but after a few days, here the story says, Waraqa died and the divine inspiration was also paused for a while, and the Prophet became so sad, and he heard that we heard that he have intended several times to throw himself from the tops of the high mountains. And this is Aisha reporting what she heard from people before her, and this is all the story goes back to Khadija too. So this is all by the family of the Prophet reporting this, the story. The Prophet trying many times, this is several times, and each time he tried to throw himself like this wall, like this wall. I wish he can change the cartoon, make it like about Muhammad. So we put Muhammad there, and then he make fun with his funny way of saying, look like Razwan. He think the wall wanna kill himself like our Prophet who tried to commit suicide many times.
Companion finding a wall that was about to collapse. The Arabic states, فَوَجَدَ فِيهَا جِدَارًا يُرِيدُ أَنْ يَنْقَضْ. Now the literal Ridvanian translation would be, they found a wall that wanted to collapse. In other words, the wall literally wanted to kill itself. Yes. The wall
Muhammad
struggled for so long.
Struggled for much.
Struggled with paying the bills.
He did not pay the bills, Muhammad.
Years of not receiving
He's not
the
receiving
respect
Quran.
it deserves.
Muhammad not receiving Quran. Finally,
it had come to a conclusion.
To throw himself.
That there was only one way out.
That's it.
Don't do it, wall.
Don't do it,
we
Muhammad.
don't love you.
Don't do it, Muhammad. We love you.
But alas,
Muhammad, he decided
it was
to do it.
too late.
Too late.
Well, at least this is how Ridvan probably understood the verse when he first read it. Now, the reason why Ridvan does not hold this understanding is because he knows that 7th century Arabs couldn't have been that stupid. However, Ridvan...
So 7th centuries Arab, they cannot be that stupid. He just admitted that the one who wrote the Quran is a 7th century Arab, not Allah. Did you hear it? This is the story is written by the 7th century Arab. That is very, very clear word from this guy. He just admitted. Now listen to this. Look what he will say.
Could not help but project a primitive view onto the Arabs when it came to astronomy, and this projection is not justified, as we shall soon see why.
Why?
Keep in mind, if a man said, وَجَدْتُ اللَّهِ, it wouldn't mean that he literally saw Allah.
You know, you see that stupid game. I found Allah, I found my... You see, there's a huge difference between I found something physical and I found something spiritual. So stop playing this game. Shame on you. The verse is speaking about he found something physical, not he found love, he found mercy. He found why they mix things together. You see how they have no dignity, no self-respect. The verse is speaking about finding a place until he reach a place. It is about timing and about a place. What does have to do? I found Allah. And by the way, I did not find Allah. Did you? Where is Allah?
If a man said وَجَدْتُ قَلْبِي, it wouldn't mean that he found his heart, but rather that he found a female partner that he loved.
Does not mean that.
Now let me offer something else.
It says that the guy who was making the Quran for him, Waraqa ibn Nawfal, he passed away. And then the divine inspiration also paused. So the guy, he died, no more Quran. Obviously, it's clear. For a while, and the Prophet became so sad, as we have heard, that he intended several times to throw himself from the top of the high mountains. And every time he went to the top of the mountain in order to throw himself, Jibreel would appear in front of him and hold him from his panties and say to him, "Oh Muhammad, indeed you are messenger of Allah." Whereupon his heart became quiet and he would come down and he would return home.
Yani, alhamdulillah, this project is pretty much done. This project of refutations against apostate prophet. Apostate prophet's channel got too big, and it was too big a year ago. It was too big a year and a half ago. It was too big a month into its creation. Kept on growing and growing, and all of a sudden it was, as we can all see, it's a major channel now with what 200,000 subs or something like that, and well, it's a musibah. So this is the issue. This is the issue. I do not intend to make any more videos on the apostate prophet. I think I've done enough of those. Inshallah, I'm done with the Ridvan saga. But I'm taking a break. I'm taking a break. I dislike. It's not normal. It's not normal, and it's not healthy. It's tiring, time consuming, and again, it's it was like 50 videos in 60 days or something. So, and it took a chunk. It took a chunk of my time. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys. Yeah, I think that's it. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.